Hello, this is Dr. Kenneth Watanabe, and let us continue with the database table maker data entry and querying portion of the video. In the previous video, we created a patient table and a visit child table, and then a specimen child table under the visit table. And in this video, I'm going to show how we would enter data into this table. So to enter data, you click this Enter Modify Records, and we would enter the database name and then the table name, patient, and click the Go button. Here it shows the fields that we can enter. Now, to save time, I entered a couple people already, John Smith, and this is his information. And if you click on this visit button, it will show that I've entered one visit, a wellness check. And under this visit, I can click on the specimen button here to show that there's two specimens collected, a blood and a urine specimen. So I can click on this and it will show, the details of that specimen. And then the other patient was Mary Jane. She also had one visit. And in this visit, we had two specimens collected, a blood specimen and a nasal swab. Okay. So let me enter a new patient. Let's click Clear here, and I'll put John Doe, and his date of birth we'll put as 1989, July 4th, and he is a male. So I have some pull downs here for these. His ethnicity is white, and let's put a phone number 456-456-4567 and an address. It's F Street in Atlanta, Georgia, and zip code 34567. Whatever. Create record, and it creates a record, assigns a unique identifier, and it also records the Linux user that's currently logged in and the date and time that it was created. So to add visits, I can click on this visit button here. There are no visits because I just created this patient. But to create a visit, I just click on this blank area here. I put the enter visit date. A visit type, let's just say this is a follow-up, and then follow-up exam for last week's illness. And then I can put in his weight, 145, and then a blood pressure, 135/125. Okay, create record. Now I can enter some specimens. Let's enter a blood specimen, 10 mLs, and let's say the collector was Mildred Ratchet, and we can also collect a urine specimen, and let's say this is 50 mLs. Create record. Okay, so that's how we enter the specimens for a patient, specimens, visits, and patients. Now, every one of these screens has an audit history button. So say I made a mistake in typing some of this information. Say this guy's name is John Johnson. Okay, so I change this and click Update Record. The system automatically keeps track of the value the record was before you modified it. So if I click Audit History, it'll show that this record used to say John Doe at 1815-01 on April 17th, but here at 1816-41 it was changed to John Johnson. So every field, every input screen has this audit history. So if I want to change the visit details, follow-up exam for last week's illness of coronavirus, let's just say, and I click Update Record. See, now if I click Audit History, it will show the previous value of the record and the date and time that this was entered, and it records the date and time that this record was updated. So every screen has this audit history table, because all the code for all these screens is the same, because it uses recursion, so that every screen the same code is used. Okay. Now that we've got all this data entered, the next thing is, how do we get the data out? So to query the data, there's a new option called Query Data that was added in 3.0. So I can click on this button and I enter a database name and a table. So let's say we're trying to find all the blood specimens for all patients born after 1995. So I enter the specimen table here and click Go. So here we can enter the criteria to pull out the specimens that we want. If you click on this pull down, you'll notice that it has all the specimen fields as well as the visit and the patient fields, because the system knows that the specimen table is a child table of the visit table and the visit table is a child table of the patient table. So say if we want to find all specimens for all patients born after 1995, we can do this. And we want all blood specimens, so we say where the specimen type equals blood, and we can click Go. And if we view the results, we see that we found all the blood specimens for all patients born after 1995. So that would be John Smith and Mary Jane. Now suppose we want to find all the blood and the urine specimens. Well, we can do that. We can put the specimen type equals, and here we can put urine. And depending on the what field we put here will determine what the drop down is here. So the system knows based on what values you put here, what drop down to put here. So we'll find all specimens that are either type blood or urine. And we click the Go button, and here are the results. So I found John Smith had a blood and a urine specimen, and then Mary Jane had a blood, and John Johnson had a urine specimen. But if you look here, John Johnson was born prior to 1995, but his record still came up. So why is that? Well, that's because when it went through these criteria, it went linearly. So I found all patients born after 1995 that had a blood specimen, or the specimen was a urine specimen. So this criteria was not related to this date of birth. So to fix this, we can put parentheses around here, so that these two will be evaluated first. You'll find all specimens that are either blood or urine, and the patient was born after 1995. So if I click Go here, John Johnson will drop out of my query. And all I have is John Smith and Mary Jane, and we have both blood and urine. Now another feature that we have is the like operator. So say I want to find all patients whose last name begins with SMI. So we use a like operator. We put SMI and then put a wildcard, the ampersand. So any patient beginning with SMI will fit this criteria. So if I click Go, now you should only see John Smith and Mary Jane dropped out. So we can put wildcards anywhere. We can put a wildcard here and find all patients that have an MIT somewhere in the middle of their name. So that's how you use the like operator. Okay. So that's it as far as the queries go. In my roadmap for future releases, I plan to make it so that you can save queries, because right now the queries are not saved. So if I go in here again, I have to re-enter the data. So that is in my roadmap for version 3.1. Also, I plan to make some cosmetic changes, and I will make any changes that are requested by my users. So please download the database table maker software from kenawatanabe.com under the bioinformatics pull down. Um, please check it out, and if you like the software, please make a donation, as this is my only source of income. Thank you very much for watching.